Connor, and this documentary is about a very important character, me. So, what this documentary is going to be about is what happened to me as a kid, as a little child, as a baby, what happened there with regards to my prematurity and how it affected me and how it's affected my mother specifically, because you're going to be having a wee word with her later on. And throughout this you're going to see different facts, statistics, things like that, given to you by my good friend Stephanie. So basically I'm here to educate you guys on what it's like being a premature child, how it affects the parents, how it affects you as a person, and what you go through. So let's go.
60,000 babies are born prematurely in the UK every year, and a baby is considered premature if it is born prior to 37 weeks. Premature birth is the leading cause of death amongst newborns and the second leading cause of death amongst children under the age of 5. Science classifies premature birth under 3 categories: prior to 28 weeks, extremely premature, 28 to 32 weeks, very premature, from 32 to 37 weeks, moderately premature. The preterm birth rate in the UK is between 7 and 8%, ranking the UK 134th out of 184 countries for preterm birth in the world. This is higher than most European countries and higher than Cuba, Ecuador and Iraq. One more uplifting piece of information is that the survival rate of premature babies has increased from 53% in 2006 to nearly 80% as of 2011. This is demonstrated by the pie charts on the screen. I am now going to inform you on some medication and medical procedures which are used to aid premature babies. Depending on your baby's condition, medication may include oxygen to aid in breathing and heart rate, or antibiotics if infection is present or if there is a risk of possible infection. Premature babies are often placed in incubators, providing the optimal environment for improving their health. We will now hand you over to a mother who had a rather traumatising experience with her son's birth almost 21 years ago.
Can you tell us what the doctor's diagnosis was of your son when he was born?
Well, he was taken away quickly and weighed. He was only weighing £1.7 and he was transferred straight to the neonatal unit, where he was put in an incubator and was attached to machines which provided oxygen, etc. for him. So he wasn't doing any breathing on his own. There was no diagnosis at that point. I mean, he was just extremely premature. He was not breathing for himself, so he was fighting for his life, basically. After 5 days, his stomach distended, and the doctors took us in and told us that they suspected he had a problem with his bowel, called neck, which is quite a common problem with preemie babies. And he was taken by ambulance flashing blue lights across the city to the sick kids, where we were asked to say our goodbyes to him whilst he was taken in to be operated on. They did not expect Connor to survive. He did, and within a couple of days he was transferred back to Simpsons, where he still wasn't looking like a normal baby. He still wasn't progressing very well because he had a problem at his heart, in that when babies are born, this flap at their heart closes. It's to do with the mum doing the breathing for them when they're in the womb. It didn't close there for Connor. We couldn't get the medication because he just had this operation where it discovered that he had a perforation in his stomach. It wasn't his bowel. So we had to wait another few weeks. Then he got the operation. He got the medication to close the valve at his heart. It didn't work. They tried it again, it didn't work. So they said, "Rep, you're going back to sick kids for another operation to close the valve at his heart." So it was only after that operation that he really began to progress, and so he was on ventilation for about 8 weeks, which was quite a long time. So as a result, he had chronic lung disease, because although the ventilator was keeping him alive, it damages the lungs. He finally was released from hospital at 12 weeks when he was weighing £5.
So what was your emotional state during this? How did it make you feel?
It was initially, I don't think it really sunk in. I mean, although I wasn't I'm a very young mother, I had this assumption that when premature babies were born, they were stuck in an incubator like a tomato stuck in a greenhouse, and they're kept nice and warm and they just grow, and I had no idea of all the complications and things that could go wrong. But I mean, Connor seemed to, they reckon Connor had read the book on preemie babies because he was doing everything that could go wrong. So yeah, it was hard. I mean, it got to the point where you felt that you visited this baby in the hospital that didn't belong to you, it belonged to the hospital. That I'd missed out on all that, the natural, normal, happy times that people have when they give birth. Missed out on having a natural birth, missed out on feeding him naturally, so it was really hard. But in a way you just had to keep going because you had no option, because you had this baby depending on you that was lying in hospital.
So at what time did you start seeing improvements, and what were those? What happened?
It was really, well, the big improvement was after his second operation, when he began to look like a baby. But prior to that, he looked like E.T. He was brown and he looked like a wee skint rabbit. And then when the second operation was complete, he began to look like a pink and white, like kind of normal baby, and he started to put weight on. So, and then obviously when we brought him home, we saw improvements, and then a month later, Connor took a virus and we were back in sick kids. But that was pretty much the pattern for the first few years of his life. It was, he'd make progress and then he would take a step back again. It was like a roller coaster.
So just to finish up, is there anything you would like to tell anyone, just any general information about premature babies or what premature mums go through, or is there any advice you would like to give to any mums out there who are going through?
I think people are more aware nowadays what it's like for people who have premature babies. There's a big campaign on just now because an MP went through this, or somebody, an MSP or an MP. So basically, one of the biggest problems we had was that my maternity leave had kicked in from the minute Connor was born. So for the first 12 weeks when he was in hospital, you only get 16 weeks maternity pay. For the first 12 weeks Connor was in hospital. By the time Connor came home, I only had 4 weeks maternity pay left. So that put us under a lot of pressure. So they're looking to change that rule, and that maternity pay will not start until the baby comes home from hospital. Also, you need a lot of support. You need a lot of support from your family and friends, emotional support, because you're going through a really difficult time. One day we would make good news on Connor, the next day it would be bad. The simplest of things were like big milestones. The simplest of things like the fact that, if you could pass a bowel movement, if you could do a pee, I mean, things that are just normal, they were major things. So yeah, you need a lot of support.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So see, when I was dead wee, I was quite curious about it, wasn't I? Like, I did ask questions.
Yeah, because you were different from everybody else, and you had scars on your body, and you were smaller than everybody else, and you got a bit of a hard time about that, I suppose, in school.
Yeah. But nobody gives me a hard time anymore.
No.
Obviously, because...
No, but I think once your pals and people and your peers grew up a bit and then they came out more mature, then obviously they understood that you've been through a hard time.
So like I used to get quite self-conscious, didn't I? I never used to like take my top off at the pool or by the beach or whatever. Like when I was like little, I didn't care because I'm a child and I didn't have like a care in the world. Like when I was in primary school, whatever. But then when I got older, like when I was like a teenager.
Early stages of teenager.
Yeah, when I was a teenager, I didn't like it.
And you absolutely hated it, and you despised your scars.
Yeah.
And you wished you didn't have them, but I had to explain that if you didn't have the scars, you wouldn't be here because you wouldn't have survived if you hadn't have done those operations. So they're kind of like your war wounds.
Aye, so they kind of, as I've gotten older, like now, like I'm an adult, I'm like.
But when you were a baby and you were only 1.7 and did the operation, your scar was like that size, and
aye, it's
I
tiny.
somehow thought it would stay that size.
Aye.
I didn't realise it would just grow.
Aye.
As your stomach grew, it just grew like. I mean, it would go the same size as your stomach. So I thought you were going to have this tiny wee scar like that, but it's no.
Yeah. When like what was because I was in the papers, wasn't I? Like when I was little, like I was a little when I was younger,
Yeah.
and then the papers gave me a nickname, didn't they?
The biscuit baby.
Yeah.
That's because you were the weight of a packet of McVitie's chocolate digestive biscuits. You're only £1.7 when you were born, which is around about the same weight as a packet of biscuits.
So was it they gave you money for the hospital?
Yeah, because they'd got some publicity out of it, because your picture was taken of the packet of biscuits. They sent us a cheque and it went to Simpsons. We did quite a bit of fundraising at the time.
Yeah. I was in the paper again, wasn't I, when I turned 5 and I started the primary, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
So then they took a picture of me there and then they put me in.
Yeah, because it was like medical baby start school.
Yeah.
And you were tiny, your blazer was like the smallest blazer we could get for you, the sleeves went away
I was the same with the nappies though, wasn't it? Like they said, because they make special design nappies for premature babies.
Aye, you get premium nappies,
and then
the nappy right up to
the elbow, because it was that wee. But
can't say that about you now.
No, couldn't. I'm taller than some people now. I was taller than quite a few people, but not much. Well, I say quite a few. So see, like, obviously when I've gotten older, like, it's kind of changed my perspective on it. Like, I feel it's more a reflection on who I am and how I've kind of approached things in life. Like,
obviously, to work really hard.
Yeah, because obviously, like, I used to give me all these vitamins and that because you thought that, like,
well, you did. You had a really poor immune system. You were always in hospital right through your early years. You were always getting kept in hospital because the minute you took an infection, it went into your lungs, you struggled to breathe, and you got asthma and things like that, and you had chronic lung disease. So yeah, we had to really kind of look after you and sort of mollycoddle you and wrap you in cotton wool, and we had to work really hard with you in terms of your education. I was always here to support you and do lots of stuff with you at home because of the lack of development in the womb, you'd missed out on a lot of brain development that was happening in the womb. So, like retaining information and things like that, everything came that wee bit bit harder for you. So we had to constantly repeat things till you. But then look, you managed. You left school with loads of qualifications and hires, and now you're doing an HND. So, but it's taken a lot of hard work.
I know, yeah. Although I think it's kind of, that's the way I kind of look at it, like, because I'm not like the most academic person, but I do have obviously different things that I enjoy and I try and go and try out and get them, so I kind of look at it as in, I was in that really hard situation when I was a baby, and the way that it's made me think now is, and if I can get to that where my chances of like surviving were like so slim, and I did it, then I can go and do other things in life which people, because some people thought I would never, Dad never thought I would get to this stage, did he? He thought I'd have to leave school and get a job. But
I believed in you.
Yeah, you did, and then I stuck at it, and then I got here.
But the funny thing is, like, we were so naive, your dad and I, when we had you, and I just assumed that they'd stick you in an incubator and it'd be like growing tomatoes, and just bigger. And there wouldn't be all these complications in between, which we had loads of complications.
I just thought there was like a wee miracle machine or something.
Well, they thought you'd read the baby on premature. You read the book on premature babies because everything that can go wrong was going wrong. Then one day you'd put weight on, and the next day you wouldn't. And
well, what do you mean, like, I'd put weight on if I wouldn't? How would I know? Just take. It's not like I could refuse to eat it.
No, but you would just eat tiny amounts.
I was like that when I was wee, I never used to eat a lot.
I know, but
like
what happened to you?
Yeah, shut up. Like, I used to, I mean, like, if you took me for like a McDonald's, you'd get me a Happy Meal. And I also think it's not a big portion of food, like, it's wee, it's for Wayne's. and I just couldn't eat all it. Like
when you were younger, and that,
I'd eat like one or two chicken nuggets.
People used to say you ate like a bird, birds eat tiny amounts. You used to eat the tiniest portions.
Did I?
Then you got to primary 6, primary 7, and then I couldn't stop eating.
Aye, because I was underweight.
Yeah.
Aye, because I wouldn't eat a lot. Do you think that was because of what happened to my stomach?
You just never flourished. You always kind of were underweight and poor looking and picking everything up, and then you kind of. Then maybe they had us a dietitian to try and increase the fat and everything that was going into your body, so you were getting full fat cream and everything with your meals to mash your potatoes and everything to try and put weight on you. And then you got to primary 6, primary 7 and you started piling it on.
Aye. I mean, that's quite important that people do realise that the things people go through with it, don't they? Because not everybody gets it. Like people, especially nowadays, because like, although I would say that, but like social media's kind of made everybody a bit more interconnected, and they see all these stories.
Lots of different things, not just.
I know, but all these different things that the people throughout the world have gone through, whether it's like kid going through cancer or like you know, bone marrow treatment or whatever, or like babies that are born.
But we have to always remember how lucky, and you have to remember how lucky you are, because a lot of the premature babies can have brain damage. They couldn't guarantee us you didn't have brain damage when you came home.
Did you get me tested?
They did brain scans on you, and cerebral palsy and things like that. So your only side effect was your asthma, and your immune system was extremely low.
I mean, I've got asthma, hay fever, I'm allergic to.
Lots of people have that.
So that's not. So is there no like a side effect to the prematurity?
The only thing that you got would be that you got asthma because of the chronic lung disease, because you were on ventilation for too long, but they couldn't get you off it because you weren't fit enough to come off it. You know, it was a catch-22 situation.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, it's quite. Thanks for you know, not giving up on me.
Oh, no, I think they would give up on you. Everybody was praying for you everywhere.
Aye.
Lots of people.
Aye.
I hope this documentary has given you a better perspective on premature babies face when they come into the world. I am proud to have shown you that while premature babies may be small, they are indeed strong.
So, see, once you told me a story that about when I was in the hospital, and you say like you were in the waiting room, and you said you felt something. You said you felt something was going to tell you it was going to be
What
alright.
happened was you were taken across to the sick kids because your stomach had distended when you were 5 days old. They thought you had something called NEC, which is something wrong with your bowel. So they prepared you for theatre. We took in to get you baptised by a priest before this could happen, and then you were taken into theatre, and your dad and I were sitting saying our prayers, our rosary on our fingers because we had no rosary beads, and we sat in a room, me, your dad and your nana and granda, praying and waiting, and then at one point this feeling like something went through from my head right down to my toes. It was like the strangest feeling. It was as if like something had come over me, and I just turned to your dad and said, he's going to be fine, he's going to be okay. It was like I'd had a message from a guardian angel, your nana Car, whoever, but it was a really, really strange feeling. And then about an hour later the surgeon came through and said he's survived surgery, he's not out the woods yet, we should be another few days and we'll know whether he's okay. And pretty much within another few days you were fine and we'll be back to Simpsons. You had recovered from it.
So you feel it was some kind of divine intervention almost?
Yeah,
also
definitely.
Also with a combination of the wonders of modern medicine, but
yeah, there was definitely that as well, but definitely felt for a while that somebody was looking after us, and lots of people were praying for you in lots of different schools and churches and things like that, so a lot to be said for prayer. But yeah, that was a really strange thing that happened.
nice though.
Well, yeah, the outcome's all
Yeah.
nice.
Right, the next one of you. Right,